How's it going, everybody? Silver J here, and today I'm going to inform you all on how to, within 24 hours of playtime, as you can see there, how you can basically become set up to become a millionaire, almost a billionaire. And I am going to not jump anything. I'm not going to skip through this loading screen because I don't want people to think that I loaded it up and then switched to a different save or anything. I may end up fast forwarding some of this just to get through the loading screen because the loading screen does take a little while. So, welcome to my base. If you want to call it that, I have some walls and some floors and some landing pads, which I recently built onto my base. So, when you first start off, like everybody, you will start with nothing. You'll be in front of a broken down ship on a planet. You don't know what's going on. That is the same for everybody. There's not much there that you can do other than get through it as quickly as possible. I don't think there's any tricks that you can use really to get through it faster. You just kind of go with the flow and learn how to play the game. Tutorial stuff. But after that, as you can see, I'm on a verdant planet. So there's nothing wrong with this planet at all. It's it's perfect. Sentinels don't come around hardly at all. There's no thunderstorms, no winter storms, nothing of the sort. So I could literally stay out here forever and never have to worry about anything other than my life support. So that's a good plus. This next thing I'm going to tell you about, as you can see, I have a massive freighter up here. And I don't know how many people know this, but when you go to a new system through your warping, when you warp to a new system in the galaxy map, there is a chance that a freighter battle will ensue once you arrive in the new system. And the first time that you warp to a new system and save a freighter that is under attack, they will let you have the freighter for free. Now, here's the trick. Always refuse the first freighter that they try to offer you. Always refuse it, because the second freighter is guaranteed to be a big boy. Like this. That's something that I recently learned. And I mean, it's nothing special. It is bigger, has more spaces, obviously, but if you don't care to have a smaller one, then I mean, go for it. But I like to have the bigger one. It holds a lot more stuff, and that way you don't have to worry about running out of space. So one thing that I will say that is really helpful in the beginning is the medium refiner, which obviously these guys right here are very essential. All of these terminals, if you do go through all of them, you get a lot of blueprints and stuff that you would normally have to pay for, or you have to go and find the salvage data for, or spend nanites for. You can get them for free if you just do the missions. Mostly, his missions will allow you to get the rest of these guys. The scientist will give you some. This is the weapons guy. I didn't do much of his, but this right here is the guy that I needed. It's the farming gek. And with the farming gek, he allows you to get all of these plants for free. You don't have to spend anything to get them. And all you have to do is grow some of everything, which isn't difficult at all. I think it's going to go dark. But that is one way to get a lot of blueprints early on. Also, the base computer. It'll give you some blueprints every, I think it's 6 hours. So what I did was basically I would come in here, I would do whatever it wanted me to do, and then when it started counting down the 6 hours, just leave the game and wait the 6 hours. That way you don't have to, because you don't have to be in game during the 6 hours. This game continues to operate while you are gone. And that includes the frigate missions I'll get to later. So that's one way. It'll help you get blueprints like the oxygen harvester, which is very important. It gives you 250 oxygen, and it only costs, come back, 34 condensed carbon to run. So basically, you're spending 34 condensed carbon to get 250 oxygen. And over here at the medium refiner, if you put condensed carbon, it's going to try and give you a bunch of carbon. But if you put some oxygen in there with it, you're duplicating your condensed carbon by spending some oxygen. Now, with this combo, basically you have unlimited of this and you never have to farm it again. Because the condensed carbon that you're getting for free is more than enough to power the oxygen harvester to get you more oxygen. So that is one thing. And there's a lot of recipes that use these two refiners, which is why I have them both here. I am going to put a link down below to a website called zanesworld.com. That website is amazing, and I use it all the time. It's basically got every single recipe in the game in a nice table format. You can sort it by alphabetical order, reverse alphabetical order even, with all of the outputs. If you wanted to know what inputs you can put in, you can search by inputs. It's amazing, and I use it a lot for crafting different stuff. Let's say I needed to like make some more star bulbs. So if I go into here, into my tech, specialist farming, and go to star bulbs. So I need paraffinium. I could go to Zane's World and see if there's something that I can put in a refiner to get paraffinium, which would probably be like star bulbs and salt, I would say. And it would make paraffinium. So stuff like that is really useful. So that way you don't have to like go out to the world and try and find all this stuff. And that's really useful. It'll allow you to make a bunch more plants. And you may be wondering what the plants are for. So the main way that I make money in the game is through the crafting stuff. Now those you will have to unlock in the space anomaly. But as you can see here, a stasis device is like just over 15.5 million units. Same for the fusion igniter. And all of these recipes, I can craft any of this. So like, I need a quantum processor. Well, if I need a processor, I just have to get a circuit board and a superconductor. Well, here's the circuit board conductor. I just need heat capacitor and polyfiber. Well, if you look, polyfiber is cactus flesh and star bulbs. And a heat capacitor is frost crystals and selenium. Oh look, I'm conveniently growing that right over there. So I can just harvest it all, craft what I can, sell it, and then I'm done. These will continue to grow while I'm not even in the game. So like here, selenium is a 16-hour growth. It takes 16 hours before you can harvest it again. And then same for the cactus flesh, the echinocactus. But I do not have to be in game for these to keep growing. So in 4 hours, I could close out the game after I save, obviously. Make sure you always save. I could close out the game, come back in 4 hours, and harvest more stuff. So it's like a passive way of making money. You don't really have to do anything. Obviously, you have to do the crafting, but it'll just grow forever. So I like to store all of my stuff in here. Oh, nope, not my Atlas Pass. Selenium. Do I have anything in my cargo? Yes, the frost crystal went in there. Boop. There we go. So in order to get these biodomes, you actually have to research them in the space anomaly. So you do need to get salvage modules and stuff for that. And one trick to these, you may notice that the doors aren't all in the same spot. That's because when you go in here, the door will take up 3 spots for plants when you make it. But if you delete the door and put it somewhere else, you may be able to get these 3. You will. It's just sometimes you have to be a little finicky with it. Sometimes you have to like leave or load the game out and close it, all that good stuff. But you'll be able to make 3 more plants per biodome, which is why when I walk in, there's a selenium staring me in the face. That's just to maximize how much your biodomes can make. You can also put them like on top of like a building or something and get them that way. So there's a lot of things that you can do with them. I just placed them on the ground and kept going because I don't do a lot of base building stuff. So back to the freighter. So the freighter has these frigates, which you will have to buy. But if you're making 15 million units per one thing, a C-class frigate is like around 2 million, and it goes higher based on the class. So let's take a trip up there, shall we? Oh yeah, speed tip. If you hit the, I guess, melee attack button right before you start your jetpack boost, you'll go a lot farther. It's a lot faster. So let us head up to the freighter and check on that. We okay. So when you first go in your freighter, you go up the stairs. Here is where you will talk to people and customize your freighter and warp and such. But what you want to make are these. They are fleet command rooms. You'll need silver, gold, and yttrium. All can be got from the meteorites that you fly around and destroy. So it's not very expensive at all. And here is where you will go on expeditions, which I won't be able to show you until I clear one out. So the reason why you want to go on these expeditions is because you might debrief my commander. So they'll travel so many light years. The more light years they traverse, the more stuff you're going to get. And there's also difficulty ratings. So I just got 288,000 units just in this one location. Here's another 380. Here's some granite. Here's some activated emerald. And on it goes. And then we'll end the expedition. This is an item I can sell for probably at least 100,000 units. So I got all this stuff. Thermic condensate is very good. Semiconductor is very good. So, and I got almost 2 million units just from that one thing. So I could go and buy me another frigate if I wanted. So let's go to the freighter. So these can be sold. Pretty useless. Let's see what else I get. The granite, that's useful. I have a storage unit designed for all of that type of stuff. Activated emerald will go in the same one. So all this stuff I will use if I need to make chromatic metal, which is something that you need a lot of in the beginning of the game. Semiconductors will go in that storage container. Same with the thermic condensate. And all of this is where I get a lot of my crafting stuff. Obviously, this isn't the most expensive items, but these can be used so that way you don't have to craft all of it yourself. And that was just one. That was just one expedition. So, go back to my Gek buddy here. So, here's the list of expeditions that I can... These 3 I can do. I guess I'm already doing this one. Probably. So, here's the one that's 4,716 light years. So, that's the one I'm going to go for first. And all of these guys are awaiting me to debrief them. These are all of my frigates so far. So, if this is a expedition... Nope, it's balanced. So that means that I would use like support mainly, because it'll give me a full total. And 2 of them are going to mean that I get a 2-star rating, which is what the difficulty is. You want to make sure that you are at least what this difficulty rating is, so that way you don't get damaged. And I'm going to send them out. Boom. And now, like, that'll be, let's see, if I go over here, manage my fleet. These are all of my people. So these, it says on a mission, it's going to be 28 hours and 10 minutes. Yes, that is real time, but again, you do not have to be in the game this whole time. So I could not be on the game for another 28 hours and come back and make a bunch of money. So the 24 hours was in-game time, not necessarily how much time I've spent playing the game on and off. But obviously you could do other things while you wait for all of this stuff to come back. So again, I'm going to go ahead and sort this stuff to the best of my abilities real quick while I... carbon goes there. Oops. Sac venom is another thing I can sell because I don't need it for anything. I've been getting a lot of hot ice and cryo pumps, so that kind of forces me to try and make stuff with that. So just from those 2, if I go to sell, I have cryo pumps in my inventory. So the sac venom is almost 400,000 units, and the pearls are 161,000 units. As you can see, I'm at 210 million. Just in less than 24 hours of in-game time. Now, what you'll need for the expeditions is frigate fuel, and obviously frigates. The frigates you can buy anytime freighters come in. Normally they'll have a bunch of, they'll probably have like 2 to 4 frigates that you could buy. And then what you'll need for the fuel, again, you'll have to do missions to get the recipes for the fuel. And if I go to here, so frigate fuel for 200 tons is 200 hydrogen and 200 tritium. The tritium. The tritium is pretty easy to get. Obviously, when you're flying around, you can get tritium. This spaceship doesn't have it because it's all in my hauler. But for, ooh, that's 500,000 units. That's nice. For the dihydrogen, you may not want to go around and farm dihydrogen. I wouldn't blame you. I don't like to either. So what I do is I will make dihydrogen jelly, because you make dihydrogen jelly at 40 dihydrogen per jelly. But if you refine it back into dihydrogen, it's 50. So you get a free 10 dihydrogen for every single jelly you make, which doesn't sound like much, but it's very easy to make a lot of dihydrogen, because you can just sit here and spam it. I'm going to move my condensed carbon so that way the jelly is at the top of my list in here. That way I don't have to go searching for it. Also, while it's processing, you just grab another stack and add to it. That way it never has to stop. You don't have to hold the E button again. And then back into here. So I've already made like 200 dihydrogen, and that was just in like 30 seconds to a minute. So it's pretty easy to do that. And then from there, just go in here and craft more frigate fuel. One tip about that is the higher class that your frigates are, the less fuel that they will need. Let me go over here to show you. So, for instance, this is a, let's start with a C class. A C class support needs 3 tons for every 250 light years. So that 4,700 one, let's see, that's 4 times 4, that's 16, plus another 700. So we'll say another 3. So that's 19 times 3, which would be, and they do it in the 50s, so it would probably take 100 tons of fuel to do that. Whereas if I go to my S class, it's 5 tons for. So I mean, it varies. It really does. Some of them are better, like this one right here, because it has this support specialist, it's going to be cheaper. You see, like this one's 12 tons for 250, so that's what, 4 times? Yeah, 4 times the cost, because it doesn't have that ability. And they get other things as they get. So like this person, I can't see you. Like +1 industry, +1 exploration, -3% expedition duration, +4 exploration. They get random, I guess, effects. I don't know what to call them. But as they, so you see the B's have 3, A's have 4, S has 5, C's have 1 or 2. And the way you rank them up in their class is successful encounters. So every single time that they went to a location, that is an encounter. So like this has to have almost 400 successful encounters before it will rank up again, which I don't know what it would be. So I'm excited to see what that is. If anybody knows, please comment down below what's past S rank. I don't think it would become an exotic, because exotics are technically S class. But so that's pretty much how I make my money. You get, money from the expeditions themselves, but it's more of a means to get as many of those items as you can. I'm going to switch starships while I'm here, because I would like to have my hauler back. And it's always good to, I like to position my freighter as close to my base as I can, so that way I can just fly back and forth with minimal effort. I guess I could show the space anomaly. I'm sure most people already know about the space anomaly, but if you're watching this, maybe you don't. Another one of the things that I make is an atmosphere harvester. There's 3 different gases in the game that you'll need: nitrogen, sulfurine, and radon. But if you're a sneaky like me, you can take nitrogen and turn it into sulfurine, and then you can take sulfurine and turn it into radon, all at a 1-to-1 ratio if you use the correct refiner recipe that will be listed on the website. And that's really handy. I don't remember what the second ingredient is, if it's ferrite dust or pure ferrite or something of that sort. I know it's not oxygen, but that's one way to do that. Another recipe that I really like is if you take, which I probably don't have any on me, like silver, gold, and like copper, and I think the 3 elements, whatever they are. Oh, I can't. I have to go over here. So the cadmium, indium, and emerald. You can't do it with activated things. Activated is another recipe. There is a recipe for it, but it is a different recipe than the regular elements. Anything else here that I need to inform you of? I don't think so. I will mention you can do multiple at the same time. So one thing I did was like, I would get his mission, and I would get his mission, and I would get this mission, and I would just kind of do them as I was out. And there was a couple times where their missions were on the same system, in the same system. So I would just go to that system, do a couple missions, and then come back, because you have to give them time. So eventually the scientist has to shut down for like 6 hours. And with the Gek here, Mr. Farmer Man, like, you would have to grow the thing. So one trick to that is when you're going to get the stuff to grow it, if you get extra and you plant it and you still have enough on you, you can just go ahead and turn in the mission before it's even ready to harvest. So that's a good way of being able to kind of rush through that quest. There are a couple that are a little tricky in that quest line, but for the most part, rather simple, rather straightforward. So let us go to the anomaly. Normally I summon the anomaly pretty close to my freighter. That way everything is together. But the anomaly has to be far enough away from the planet. It has to be a lot further away than the freighter is, so. This is the anomaly. It's basically like a multiplayer hub, and it likes to shake a lot. Please stop shaking. Thank you. You'll see people's ships coming in. You can see what they are. So like, that's a fighter, that's a shuttle, etc., etc. Sometimes there's exotics and living ships here as well, which is really cool to see. This is the Nexus, where you can get missions. I don't like doing them, but if you want to do them, you can. I don't think I've ever completed one. This is the Quicksilver exchange guy. It's where you buy cosmetics and some other things. I'm going to let you all figure that out on your own. You have Helios here, which can give you some nanites. Yep. And you just give him data every day on what you've scanned. So I got 115 nanites, which is nice. And this is Ares. He will allow you to get some nanites as well. And you also, every day, can exchange something for whatever. I don't remember what you get, but I don't have any gravitino balls, so. But I can get more nanites. The reason why I stop every time I come in here and get those nanites is because not on Palo that way. All your upgrades here. This is the best place to be. Wow, somebody just got 5 fusion igniters. Whoa. Fusion igniters, I don't think I have any on my person, but they are nice to have. So this is Starship Guy. This is Construction Place. This is Exosuit Man. Wait, can I? Yay. I've been trying to upgrade my exosuit. So I'm trying to get more technology slots, because you see I only have 1 left because I've been throwing translators and stuff. So I wonder if that resets every day. It might. You have Multi-Tool Man, and they sell different things. Can you upgrade it here? I think you can. In the space stations you can, but I don't think you can here. So this is the one that's got the best stuff. These are all of your recipes you'll ever need. Oh, quests for that one. That's the one that I want to get. But I don't ever get any storm crystals. You have to go to a planet with extreme storms to get storm crystals. But here is where everything is. And there's some of these that you can get, I think, from the mission. I think you get acid, maybe. But this is all of the ones. As you can see, I still have Herox and Limium to get. Those are used in making Iridesite and Geodesite. That's the only reason that you'll need these. But these are the ones you'll need. So you have to get the Fusion Igniter and the Stasis Device blueprints first. All of these all cost 250 nanites. So if you wanted to add it up, that's, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. You're looking at like 4,000 nanites, 5,000 nanites maybe, to get all of this, which isn't impossible. It takes a minute, but it's not too bad. So this is where you'll get all that, if you want to get Atlas passes and stuff like that. And then of course you have Exocraft guy. I never bothered to talk to him. Yeah, that's what you'll need. And then these, let me show you the biodome. So the biodome is right here in the large prefab. So you have to get, I think Cylindric Rune might be one that you get for free, but you have to get Straight Corridor, Glass Roof Corridor, and then the biodome. And that's the only thing that I cared about, was this biodome. As you can see, you'll need 5 glass, which you can use frost crystals to make. And I think that's about it. I think I've explained everything on how I've made money. Like I said, most of the money I make is from the fusion igniters and the stasis devices. When it's just all crafting, and then you send out some missions, you grab your crops, and then you turn the game off for a day and come back. Obviously, you can do a lot of specific numbers of things, so you'll know how many of one plant you'll need versus how many of another plant, but I didn't worry too much about that. That's like if you're trying to min-max everything. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this little tutorial video type thing. And if you want to see me play more No Man's Sky, please let me know. That looks exotic. No, it's just a really cool looking fighter. Comment down below, like the video, let me know. I do stream on Twitch every blue moon, so if you want to follow me on there, tell me to stream some more, I will. But I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave this video off. Hope you all have a wonderful day.